It is Bree Simulated here. Today I hope you're having an awesome day today wherever you are in the world. I hope, or maybe it's an awesome night. Who knows? Let me know in the description. Oh, not in the description. I type in the description. You guys type in the comments. You type in the comments down below what time it is right now when you're watching this and what degrees it is. What's the temperature? Is it hot? Is it cold? You let me know. I want to know how your day is going and how the weather is, because right here, right now, it is 37 degrees. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check that. I want to be accurate for you guys. Right now, when I'm recording this voiceover, it's 11:38 and it's 36 degrees outside. Degrees Celsius, by the way, which is quite hot. So I've got my fan on. Sorry if you can hear it, but I just absolutely had to talk to you guys today because this is the last part of the solid color challenge build for now. The solid color challenge with the creator sim and the build by mode. This is the last part, so I thought it'd be only fitting if the last part was a bright, beautiful color. So I chose green. So I'm making quite a large family today because I wanted to treat you guys with an extra long video for the very last part. The last couple have been quite small, one person with a pet, but for this one I did 4 Sims, I'm pretty sure, and a puppy dog. So basically, my main issue with this was that I wanted to make a family with young children, but I decided against it because I couldn't do green hair with the younger children. I was so upset. So basically, you can only do green hair with teens through to elders. So I made an elder, the grandma, a mum and a dad, and a teenage sim. So I imagine maybe this is a bit of an older family. The grandma still lives with them. The grandma's quite old, and then they have a teenage daughter. So that's what I imagined, and they got a little puppy dog as well. So that's what I thought this family would be like if it gives you a little bit of an insight into their lives. This is the mum here. Her name is Georgia, and the grandma's name was Gwenda, I'm pretty sure. I think the dad's name is George, and then the daughter's name is Georgia. No, her name is Georgia. Gilly. I think her name is Gilly. Is that a real name? I wasn't sure if I made that up or if I'd heard it from Game of Thrones. But anyway, I made these people all related. Here you can see me about to make a little boy or a little girl. And then I realized I should have made the husband first because I wanted to make them all related and all genetically like similar. So anyway, this is the husband. He is definitely married in. So the Georgia is Gwenda's daughter, and this is the son-in-law, if that makes sense. So basically I wanted to make him very fatherly, very laid back and relaxed, aside from that really bright green suit, because I just imagined that he would just embarrass his children or his child with it. So even though they only have one child, I made them quite a large house. It's 2 stories and it's got 3 bedrooms. So the grandma has a bedroom downstairs and then 2 bedrooms upstairs for the mum and dad and for the daughter. So it's quite a big house, but the rooms are quite spacious, especially the master bedroom. And I do put in a lot of walk-in wardrobes, which is why it is quite big, because they take up quite a bit of space. But basically this house I absolutely freaking adore. Oh, I can't wait till you guys see the finished product. The living room is my favorite part. I took some inspiration from a house that Vixella, Sasha, she uses in her Not So Berry challenge. It's not the house she's using right now, but she used it, I think, in the 2nd season. I'm not sure. Yeah, in the 2nd season. Her Rose generation lived in this beautiful house, and I had this big living room that used the Parenthood coffee table with the couches around it and a fireplace with the TV above. Like, it was just vibes. I absolutely love it, and I want to live in a house like that. So I created it for this house with their little dog Guffy. He's so cute. So this dog is going to be a crazy color. Some of the other dogs we've been doing lately have been a little bit more normal. Or cats and dogs, they've been white, they've been grey, they've been black. You know, it's pretty normal. But he is green. But basically, he looks kind of moldy, doesn't he? He looks like he needs a bath, like he was left in a sewer for 10 years. But anyway, I thought that really cute brown suit was adorable. So I'm about to finish up the creator sim, just making sure everyone is related in the way I want them to be, so they'll, you know, sleep in the appropriate beds and get along. But we're about to jump into the build. I wanted to create quite a large front yard. I've been doing this with a couple of my builds lately, with the front yards being more of a focal point than the back, but don't worry, the backyard is a focal point as well. This house has it all. It's got a big, huge porch. I love big, huge porches. I don't know about you, but I love big, huge porches. And I also love having like balconies on the front and on the back, so this house has that as well. It's very, I don't know, I just got traditional vibes from it. The floor plan doesn't change much from this. I just get rid of the really long, awkward hallway because it wasn't really appropriate. And I add in a bathroom and extend the grandma's room to be a bit bigger because we have the room, why not? So even though this is a small family with one only child, it's quite a big house. Like you could probably fit 8 Sims in this house if you had some shared bedrooms, some twin bedrooms and stuff like that. But because this house is bigger, it means that they all have their own en-suites, I'm pretty sure. So that's what I liked about it. It's quite a luxurious house. You could tell this family, maybe they only had one child because they wanted to be able to spoil that one child. And also because they do have the liability of having their grandma live with them, which I think they love, but also, you know, not everyone has their grandma live with them. So I think it's really cute and a really good idea and something a bit different that I don't usually do, but I think that having her here really makes the house. I did have to take 2 breaks whilst building this. As you see, I took one right there. I just had no inspiration for the floor plan, but I got it. I really love the floor plan in the end. I love it. There are almost too many bathrooms, but I think it's fine. If you really wanted, you could turn one of the bathrooms into another bedroom or something like that. But there's already a big, huge study, which is for the mum. I imagine the mum would be a beauty therapist. I don't know why, but I just imagined it. She'd work from home and be a beauty therapist. Which isn't something we can do in the game, but you can imagine it. And I imagine the dad would be like a businessman, but he doesn't really like his job. He's like working for the weekend vibes, like that's why he's quite casual and laid back in his outfit. I love the sweater with the flannel around the waist. But anyway, right now the backyard is too crammed, and also the hedge is on a foundation, which I didn't realize. So don't worry, I do fix that, and I do make the pool more accessible because right now I can't get a diving board in, and that was goals. So basically I'm just getting in the doors, and I really love these doors with the windows. This does give me not so berry vibes because of the minty color that I do have to use sometime with the green, which I think is fine. So I mix between a dark tealy green and a mint green, which I think really complement each other as much as using the same color for a build can. And basically the reason why I love this house so much is because it does remind me of that house that Vixella used. I don't think she built it, but I know she got it off the gallery, so if you go and check out her second season, you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm sure she linked the house at some point or showed the creator when she downloaded it. But basically, I feel like I do want to use this house eventually in my Not So Berry challenge. Right now, I'm not sure when this will come out in comparison to the Not So Berry challenge, but I know that when I was making it, I did have them move into a big luxurious house from Brindleton Bay that I renovated. You can see that video. Also, it'll probably be up before this one. But I renovated that house to suit them, and I color coordinated the bedrooms upstairs with each generation, and then we're going to turn the rooms into murals for each generation as we go along. But I love this house so much for actually living in. I feel like the house we're in right now is going to be too big, but I do intend on having a couple more children in the next generation, so that is why. But basically, I do love this house just because it's so homey and so livable, and I don't know, I just love it. I'd actually love to live in this house in real life. I wanted to use those windows there from Cats and Dogs, but I think I realised that they have no glass in them. It didn't really make a whole heap of sense for this build, but they're still cute. So I went with these little domey shaped ones for the hallways and for the bathrooms, and then the big ones and a different full length one for some living areas and bedrooms. And I also do get these funny shaped ones that are like the dome and then a big window and 2 smaller windows either side for some of the bedrooms, especially the upstairs one and the grandma's one, I think, because I think that they looked really cute for looking out over the yard. Yeah, I inserted one just there in the grandma's room. I think I do end up putting one in the daughter's room, I'm not sure. But basically, the daughter's room is my favourite. I imagine that, yeah, she's quite spoiled. Her room is a bit smaller than it could have been. Like, I could have made it bigger in comparison to some of the other rooms. But I love it because it's very teeny, like very teen vibes. I imagine she's the only child, so she's still babied quite a bit. And yeah, with the bathrooms, I made the grandma's one quite old and classic. And then with this one here, I made it quite modern and sleek. And yeah, this is like the shared bathroom. If you had guests come over, they would use this bathroom, even though we don't have a guest bedroom. The lounge room is quite big though. Maybe the sofa folds out into a sofa bed. Or maybe if it was one of the grandma's friends staying over, they could sleep in her double bed. I imagine she's quite laid back, quite chill, quite relaxed. She loves gardening, she loves painting, and like she's probably a nudist if we're being honest. But I love this bathroom because it's using all the color coordinated stuff that's green and pink from City Living, which aren't colors I'd usually pair together. Usually I'd do green and red, and I'd probably pair pink with a blue or something. There's my second intermission. Had to have a break. My wrist was literally getting sore from like leaning it against the desk. Like, oh, it was actually painful. I went through pain for this, to do this for you guys. But with the kitchen, I wanted to do something different to what I've ever done before, and I wanted to create sort of like a galley kitchen, but reverse in a way, like the doors on the side, not in the center. But I really loved the way that I positioned these counters with the sink being near it's not going to be there. The sink being near the fridge and the fridge being like separate from the counters and the oven also sort of being separate. Like it does end up looking kind of joined in the end anyway, but it isn't. And I arranged the counters quite annoyingly. Like I did this in my renovation of the Brindleton Bay house, and it was actually kind of frustrating to do. It was painful, but I did it. And I actually love the way that I've been doing these counters lately. I don't know why. And I also insert this one here, and it does clip. I think I do end up leaving the microwave there. No, I don't. I put a bread holder there. But I hate doing the counters like this. Oh, it hurts. It's painful. It's so hard. But I did it because it looks good. I don't really like using counters in the game because they disappear anyway and you put so much effort into them. But that's why I didn't really care that they weren't perfect. So yeah, I loved having the freestanding sink over to the side, and that's why I put that little dish rack there next to the microwave, because I thought that they would dry their dishes on the counter because there's not much room. And just getting in a lot of clutter in this house. I imagine this family has lived in there since their daughter was very young. I imagine they do have quite a bit of money, despite the fact that they only have like one working parent technically, because the mum works from home and her work is more of a hobby, I'd say. They are quite well off, and I think that is because they only have one child. Oh, I love that little cabinet that I put above the fridge. It's absolutely beautiful. I need to use it more. I wish I used it more in the actual kitchen, but I thought it'd be cute to just have it above the fridge. I imagine that that's where they'd keep their medication and like their band-aids and stuff, because that's what we used to have in my house, so yes. I did get some paintings on that wall, but they do move slightly because I add in an archway, because that room that has the archway right now is going to be the central living room, and then the room to the right of the screen is going to be the dining room, so I thought it'd be more appropriate if we did it that way around. But yeah, I'm about to get the dining room. In the dining room we have, once I add in the arch, we have like a little breakfast table that I imagine they sit at every day, and then I also got in a big long table that I imagine they have a lot of family come and visit. When they have the family come and visit, they move this table to the side, or maybe they stack the chairs or something like that, and they bring this table out more and they sit at this. So I got big chairs with arms at the end, with these smaller chairs as well. Just sort of jammed the tables in there. Like I said, I imagined if you were having a dinner party, you'd get rid of the smaller table and make this table central, if that makes sense. But they use the smaller table every day since there is only 4 of them. I imagine they sit there every day and they have their breakfast that their grandmas cook for them. But when family come down, maybe from a different state, they come and they sit at the big table, and I reckon they don't get along with the rest of their family. I don't know, I just invent so many stories when I'm making builds like this, like especially with bigger families. I just imagine it was like the family that you don't like, so that's why we have to use the nice dining table. But right now I'm just going around and getting all the the curtains in over the windows, because I felt like it was very exposed. And I found it really hard to curtain these windows at first, but eventually I do end up going with those little shutter-like ones that are really cute and minty. But yeah, I really love getting in curtains. It makes it feel more like a home. I feel like when a house doesn't have curtains, it feels like a display home. I feel like that's fine for some houses. Like some houses do have a very modern vibe where there's no curtains really, or there's just a blind or just roller shutters on the outside or something like that. But when you have actual curtains, like fabric curtains, it makes it feel so much more homier. I don't know why. Like when me and my family first moved into home, well, still my family is living there now that I've moved out of home. We don't have any curtains because when we moved in, we ran out of money. Obviously, we just built a house and we'd spent all our money on it, and we didn't think about curtains. We're going to get blinds eventually, but we didn't have enough money when we first moved in to get the blinds. So we literally had like sheets thumbtacked into the window sills, like the window frame around the outside. And mine is still there because I moved out, which I find is really funny, but it's just a really quirky vibe. But I think if we had had curtains, it would have made it so much more homelier. Like when I go to my grandma's house, she's got her big curtains and they're all color coordinated. But that's just what I imagine home is, like curtains. Yeah, I can't wait till I get a home and I can curtain it. But basically, my favorite part about the upstairs is the fact that the mums and the mum and dads and the daughters' rooms are connected by that balcony. It creates a sense of like they'd hang out there outside and the grandma wouldn't, if that makes sense. Like the grandma would have her own time in her bedroom and they would go up there outside at night time, because I reckon the grandma would go to bed at 7 p.m. every night. But I don't know if you saw just before, but I was putting curtains over the arches. I really am in love with that right now. I do that so often, putting curtains near doorways, because I imagine that that central living room is accessible from every point. Like it's landlocked. like there's no windows in it. So that's why I did the arches, because I did want to let natural light in, but I also wanted to have the curtains so they could shut them off. If they were having a movie night in there, if they were chilling out in the living room, I didn't want them to be interrupted by light and noise. So say if somebody was in the kitchen, you could close that off. I don't know. It wouldn't really block out that much noise in real life, but I just imagined that it would be a good idea, and I feel like it's something that people do in real life, right? You have curtains to like block off rooms. Maybe not curtains, maybe more like sliding doors, but we don't really have them in the game. Like doors that we could have keep open, but we could also shut them. I think it'd be really cool if we had the ability to do stuff like that, like have sliding doors that we could keep open or shut in the game with an interaction, or even just toggle them on and off. And also, I know other people have thought this before, but it'd be really cool if we could interact with the curtains. Like, so, for instance, those curtains there that I have just one, and I'm pretending that we could pull them across. I wish we could actually pull them across. So say if you had like a really broody sim who didn't like going outside, they could pull across all the curtains. And if you had a sim that liked the outdoors, every morning they could wake up and open their curtains. Like, even if it was just a toggle action, I don't need an interaction, just for me to be able to toggle the curtains open or shut or something like that. I think it'd be a really cool feature that make it more realistic, because right now we're just pretending. I know that is a lot of the game is just pretending, but it'd be really cool if we had that interaction in the game. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard, but I don't know. I don't know anything about making games, so I'm probably wrong. But anyway, it's just an idea of mine to make the game feel more livable, because I think that's a big part of family life, is like opening up the curtains and being like, kids, get outside, get off the video game console, go outside. But yeah, in the teens room I had a lot of posters, because I imagine she's an only child. As a kid she probably only played with herself, like she probably didn't have very many friends. Her room's quite small, so they wouldn't have played in her bedroom, they would have played outside. So her room is quite cluttered, because when she's in here she's alone, if that makes sense. So she's got a lot of photos, a lot of plants. I imagine that she absolutely loves plants. I love getting that little puppy dog plant in her bathroom. And I just love the way her bathroom is positioned. Like, if I had any bedroom in this house, it would probably be the teenager's bedroom and bathroom combo. Probably then the grandma's. Like, I don't know, I just love little quaint rooms better than big open ones. But I don't know if that's what I'd like better in real life. I love the grandma's wardrobe bathroom combo, if that makes sense. And I also made up this little story in my head that the grandma was like an athlete when she was younger, and that's why, I don't know, that's why she's like the way she is. She probably goes on jogs, swims laps in the pools, like, I reckon she's quite a fit grandma. But here you can see me getting on some more of those curtains. I think they really, like, they just really make the room wholesome. Like, yeah, there's 4 archways leading into this room. It's got 4 walls. It's a rectangle, like, and there's an archway on every single side. Like, it's just so open, and it felt kind of exposed. So adding in those curtains really created a sense of homeliness and comfort and coziness, because if you were cuddling up on the couch for a movie night with some popcorn, close the blinds, sit there, fall asleep on the couch, and wake up covered in your popcorn. Like, that's what I want. In this area, I thought it'd be really cute if we had a seating area. This does change slightly though, because I decided to put more of the seating in that little nooky corner near the stairs. I thought this would be really cute, especially now that the daughter's a teen. I imagined like her dad sitting there waiting up for her while she's out at a party or something, waiting for her to come home, sitting there with a cup of coffee, waiting for her to come home at midnight. And also I wish I had, but I don't think I did, I wish I got a bulletin board in that area somewhere, because I thought that would have been really cool. But yeah, just getting in some more chairs. I think I might keep that one there. I don't know. I found it really hard to get something to fit there without feeling like it was blocking it off too much, but also without feeling like it was too open. I felt like we had a really big gap that just needed to be filled. I think I get an ottoman in there, or something. Yeah, like that, little benchy kind of thing. With the books. I was gonna say a bookcase, but it's not really a bookcase, is it? And I love getting in those little pillows everywhere, and the little poofs. They're my favourite, because they don't look like seats all the time, that you can make them just look like cushions, but they are actually interactable to sit on, so it's really cool. Right now I was getting in a fireplace, so I thought it would be appropriate if I got a chimney. I wanted to line it up, but then it was glitching out, so I'm like, okay, the chimney goes there. Maybe the chimney is like on a diagonal upwards, or it's got like a zigzag in it. I don't know how chimneys work, so maybe that is how they work. That's how they work in The Sims anyway. You can just place a chimney anywhere. You don't even need a chimney half the time, it's fine. Right here, I'm getting on the couches with that big, huge coffee table, and just looking at this, like, I just want to sit in there. I cannot just look at it without wanting to sit in there. And I get in this coffee table over here as well, in the corner, because there was a too wide like corner spot that isn't anywhere else in the room, because all the rest of the room, where the doors into the grandma's bedroom and the archways are positioned, it creates an open space that feels like if I put anything there, it would block it off too much. Not just pathing wise, so the Sims wouldn't be able to get through, but just in real life, it would feel very like cluttered, like you couldn't get around. But yeah, that little corner there, I love decorating it and just having a little coffee table. I imagine it's a place where they just dump things a lot of the time and it gets quite messy quite fast. But I just wanted to make the house look so lived in and so warm and inviting. I got a lot of things on the walls, got some mirrors above that coffee table, and just some big paintings and another painting on that wall there. And now I'm just going in and decorating all the walls. I hate leaving the walls blank in houses when they have families, because that is unrealistic in my idea. Like, if you've been living in this house for 10 years, there's going to be a lot of paintings, there's going to be a lot of posters, like it's going to be lived in. So that's what I was imagining. And I think my favorite part is how it's just so welcoming. Like, if you walked into this house, you would feel welcome here. And I feel like the family are very like happy and inviting and very greeting. What's the word? Like very open to new friends and stuff like that. Like, with the mum having a business from home, the people who are coming to her business have to walk through the living room to get in there. I was going to do a door straight off of the foyer entryway, but I liked having that little reading nook instead. So yeah, they have to walk through the house. I imagine they're all her friends anyway. Like, they're all just her mates, getting their nails painted, getting a massage, stuff like that. And I just created a very wide sense of wellness in this house. So they have a lot of yoga mats and meditation boards, because I imagine that the mum and the daughter do yoga together, and even the grandma, I reckon, would do it. Over here by the parents' little balcony entrance, I tried to create a Jack and Jill seat. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them before, if you have them where you are, but in Australia we have Jack and Jill seats, and they're often out the front or like on balconies of houses, and it's made so sort of you and your partner, or you and your friend, you and whoever, can sit there, and you have a table in the middle, and you'd probably put your glass of juice on it and sit there with a snack like in between, and it just creates a sense of like unity. I just always feel like whenever you sit on a Jack and Jill seat with someone, like you're friends with that person now. Like, and I wanted to create it in the backyard, like in the balcony, so it looks over the backyard. I imagine that especially when she was younger, they would sit on there and watch her in the pool, like when she was old enough to be left in the pool alone. They would watch her in the pool, like from the balcony, and sit there after they'd woken up and sit out there and watch her. So at this point I realised the backyard is a bit cramped, and I do alter the hedge slightly. Not only do I take it off the foundation, because that just looks ridiculous in my opinion right now. Sometimes that does look good if you alter the foundation, but with the foundation we had, it just didn't make any sense. So I make it a bit bigger on one side, 2 squares wide, so we can get in the diving board, because I imagine they would definitely have a diving board. I just move everything across a bit so I know that ladder can be used, because I wasn't quite sure if they'd be able to get out of the pool from that angle exactly correctly. But yes, just getting in some greenery now, some plants, because this is the green solid color challenge. I imagine there'd be a lot of green plants, but basically the green didn't do much, like the plants didn't do much for the house. Like usually when I do the grey or the red or the whatever, adding in the green makes it better, but in this sense it almost made it more washed out. So I didn't do as much as much plants and whatnot as I normally would. I did more trees. Trees, like big trees, really remind me of family homes. Like if you have a big huge tree, big tall tree, it's like you planted it, or your great grandpa planted it. And it's grown so big and tall, and that's what it reminds me of, having big trees, like family planting the trees together and whatnot. I don't know, I love trees. But basically this is the last part of this challenge, so I do want you guys to leave your comments and feedback down below if you love this challenge, if you didn't like it, why you did, why you didn't. Let me know any honest feedback down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and if you enjoyed this series. If you haven't seen the other videos, go and watch them. I use the same kind of thumbnail with the different colours for each series, and they have the colour in the title, so go check them out. I think I've done 10 or so videos, so many different colours. I started with purple, finished with green, so if you do enjoy this video, go check them out. There are plenty more. but this one is the last one to come. So let me know what you want to see next on this channel down below. If you want to see a different kind of build challenge, I'm thinking of making a town where I fill it up all with my own people and then do a let's play about it. So it would be like a town where I create every single house and every single person in the town, and either I do it for one town or I do it for all the towns, I'm not sure, but let me know if you think that's a good idea. It'd be quite a long process, just like this one was, just to get into it and then into the gameplay. With these houses, they're in my not so berry world, so I do meet up with a lot of the people in this that I've made in this series in that challenge, so that's sort of what it would be like I would make them all and give them all storylines and then play with them. So let me know if you think that's a great idea or not, and let me know if you want to see anything else, if there's any other challenges you want me to do. But for now, I'm going to be focusing on the not so berry challenge because I've been loving it. And later on in that series, you might see this house make a reappearance or something similar. Even if I just use the living room, that would make me so happy. But we are nearing the end. I'm just doing the mum's beauty room, so she's got a computer in there. I imagine that's where she books the appointments and emails people. Got the massage table and the massage chair, and I just get in some incense in there because I imagine she would burn them while she's giving people massages to make them feel more relaxed, and just adding in some mirrors to make the place feel more open with a blind over the archway so she could pull it down when she has clients on the massage table. But yeah, I really did enjoy this house. I'm really glad this one was the last one because I love it so much, and I hope you guys do too. If you want to download it, all the houses will be up on the gallery by the time this goes up, because I wanted to wait until the end of the series to upload them so you guys didn't get spoilers. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave this part here. So until the next series, I hope you have a snazzy day and that you enjoyed this. So leave a big thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.